Welcome, everybody, to the Loud Little Ducky. I'm, of course, Ducky. Um, we were going to do this live last night, and then after I had made the live, I saw that Lauren was going live with it. So I pushed it to this morning. Um, and so we are going to go over Jan Black being Laura Owens' new PR person. So let's get to it. Um, remember to like, subscribe, comment and participate in the chat if you would like. Hello, Calamity Jane. And all right, let's see here. So, I'm forgetting how to function today. Share screen. No audio. Okay, let's put this here. Okay. Nope, not that one. Okay, let's do that. All right. So, what in the heck? Okay. Radio legend's daughter, who filed false paternity suits against 3 men, including Bachelor star, captured ranting at cops in shocking body cam footage. That is their title. It's a very long title. And this is by UK Daily Mail. And this is by Dana Kennedy. She's a senior investigative reporter. And this was published on October 8th, 2025. And they made some updates a couple of minutes after they posted this on the same day. It's not fatal attraction. It's fetal attraction. That is a good line. Not fatal attraction. It's fetal attraction. Because this woman is trying to attract all the men with fake fetuses. Laura Owens was not just hooked up, has not just hooked up with one man, but at least 3, and claimed she got pregnant by all of them. And more. Now the first of the series of lawsuits, both civil and criminal, is about to hit the courts, which we will have to decide whether she faked a pregnancy with a one-time TV bachelor, Clayton Echard. And police body cam videos from January obtained by Daily Mail show an early morning police SWAT raid on the Scottsdale, Arizona home where Owen lives with her parents that could hinder her case. Yes. And everything that they have found is kept close to the vest and secret to us. Laura knows what they found because they have to share all that information with her and her attorneys. And we say it's a raid. They didn't come in there in the beginning raiding the house, but it was like a SWAT raid. They didn't come in there guns a-blazing or anything like that. Did they have guns and things if they needed to use them? Yes. But thankfully, they somewhat cooperated. Um, by all accounts, they did end up cooperating, and the people that came in there to seize the house are not the ones that searched the house, and we don't have any video of them searching the house. So well, a little bit when they went into the casita, but we don't have video or news footage of them bringing things out of the house or anything like that. And she states, "I have done nothing except get pregnant by the bachelor, the fucking bachelor." She screams hysterically at the cops who arrived at the home just before 7 a.m. "They're treating me like I've murdered or killed somebody." Not that she said, she did not say, "I feel like I've gone and killed somebody." That is not what she said. She said, "They are treating me like I've gone and killed somebody." Owens continues to yell at the officers about how they have no right to enter, even though they have a search warrant, and are polite as she reportedly rails at them in fury. "Fuck all of you guys," with the double middle fingers. Owen says more than once in the videos as she yells indignant indignantly that her father, former San Francisco radio host legend Ron Owens, is handicapped. Yeah. And the thing is that I I I don't doubt that Ron Owens has health problems. The thing is, they like to exaggerate and make shit up. And so I don't think I really wonder if he's as bad off as they say he is. Um, I'm sure he has down days. When you have illnesses, you have good and bad days. Um, I do not know all the ins and outs, but we know they exaggerate. But if he's really that sick, focus on your father and what time you have left with him, Laura, and stop all this nonsense. She talks about, "Look what you've done. Look what you've done to him." And as I said in the body cam footage video, no, Laura, you have done this to them. You and your actions, possibly your mother's actions, in my opinion. Eckerd, 32, told Daily Mail that Owen's demeanor in the videos mirrors some of the behavior he experienced from her during a lengthy ordeal that ended last May when prosecutors charged her with 7 felony counts, including forgery, perjury, and evidence tampering, stemming from her paternity claim against him. And then they have, you know, a video that they've done so that you can do it. This photo, which is so very intimidating. I'm sorry you have to look at it because, I mean, it is very scary. I mean, how could you go on with your life by seeing this picture? Um, and I say that because Laura called a violation of restraining orders on these 3 for taking this picture. This is Bachelor star Clayton Eckerd has told his story alongside Michael Maricini, Wright, and Greg Gillespie, left, who also claimed Laura Owens claimed they had got her pregnant. And this picture is January. Body cam footage shows an early morning SWAT raid on Owens' Scottsdale, Arizona home where she lives with her parents. capturing her freaking out as police searched the house despite having a warrant. Both Owen's parents were seen in the videos. Former San Francisco radio legend Ron Owens comes out using a walker and wearing a half open bathrobe. Yes, I guess so. I didn't even notice. I think it was half open, like at the chest. I don't think his goods were showing at any time once he put the robe on. This was the stuff of a bad movie, and yet it happened to me, Eckerd, 32, said, describing a nightmare that he said included hundreds of harassing texts from Owens from 13 different phone numbers and 3 email addresses, as well as efforts to discredit his reputation and get his real estate license taken away from him. Owens, 35, a horse-loving podcaster, filed a paternity petition in court in Phoenix in August of 2023, accusing Eckerd of fathering her twins during a one-night stand. Eckerd denied it and claims they only had oral sex and did not have intercourse. Well, that's what Owens was stating in the beginning as well. That November, Owens testified in court that she was 24 weeks pregnant with twins. But shortly after, she dropped the lawsuit saying she must have miscarried as she realized she was no longer pregnant. Yep. Oh my God, can you believe it? I am no longer pregnant. Like, I don't know what had happened, because my belly was supposedly still growing, even though I miscarried. But what do you know? I'm not actually pregnant. Yes, this case is crazy wackadoodle. Mm. However, in a criminal case due to being heard in January, prosecutors claimed she doctored a sonogram and pregnancy video and lied under oath when she accused Eckerd of fathering her twins. She has pled not guilty. Eckerd told Daily Mail that his life was turned upside down by his one night with Owens. He said she immediately became obsessed with him after he dumped her and made up the pregnancy. Here's where you need to correct this, Daily Mail. He never dumped her because they were never together. They did not have a relationship. They had a one night stand, and that is it. Like, she thinks she has relationships with these guys. And it's like, look at what she does over a one night stand. Okay. This is her reaction after a one night stand. Now compare it to Mike Maricini, who was with her for like 2 years, basically. What do you think he went through comparative to this? 2 years of this woman with Mike, one night with Clayton. Greg had a couple of nights. Maybe that's why Clayton only got a paternity case and not some other abortion coercion or, you know, something else. But she still is doubling and tripling down and then making more false accusations. Here's this, her gluten belly. Laura Owens submitted a picture she said was her baby bump to the court, claiming Eckerd was the father. This photo is seemingly doctored too. Here is her mugshot. Laura's mugshot was taken after she was booked by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office in May following her indictment on 7 felony charges stemming from her paternity claim against Eckerd. Eckerd, who was the Bachelor on season 26 of the hit ABC dating show and now works as a realtor in Scottsdale, said he felt vindicated when prosecutors charged her in last May. He told the Daily Mail that he believes Owen's mother, former radio reporter Jan Black, so she's a former radio reporter? Okay, so I guess that's what she calls a journalist? Okay, I think none of us knew that she was a radio reporter necessarily. Is driving force behind her daughter's legal issues, although she denies that accusation. Yeah, well, her daughter doesn't admit things, so why would she? Prosecutors listed an unnamed accomplice in the court documents. And then it says, I don't even really blame Laura, he said. I think her mom has enabled and encouraged her daughter, and Laura doesn't even realize it. Um, I don't know about that, Clayton. Like, you should blame Laura. I mean, you should blame her mom as well, but not to even blame Laura. But I think after, like, Clayton initially just, it's all her. But then since we've seen more about her parents and her mother's behavior and her mother when she's talking about things, we see there's more to the story. And Jan is most certainly in on this stuff. Whether she's just playing stupid with her daughter, like she has some accountability here. But Black insisted her daughter's pregnancy was real and said Laura has been tormented by an online mob, hounded by men's rights podcasters, and prosecuted selectively by the state of Arizona. Nope. You know why it's not selectively by the state of Arizona? Because Rachel Mitchell and Maricopa County are well known for holding women like Laura accountable. Look at the Trevor Bauer case. Yeah, they probably just summarized their some of these quotes, um, or they mishear them or put them in the wrong order or something because, I mean, there's a lot in this that is wrong. Hello, Denise. Hello, Georgia B. Um, she says, I genuinely didn't think something like this could happen in this country. Black 69 told the Daily Mail exclusively in her first extensive interview. Ma'am, you have the right to remain silent too, because anything you say can and will be used against you. And there's a possible accomplice, which could be you. So I would watch what you say. I mean, in her world, she hasn't really said anything, but she should probably not go after, like, just probably shouldn't be talking. Because she's going to say, all I've done is support my daughter. Well, supporting her doesn't mean running a scam on things that are knowingly false. Yeah. She thinks that her daughter has been victimized for over a decade by people. And she needs to look at the common denominator in all of those stories, her daughter. You have got to be questioning your child at one point, because usually there's more to the story, and everybody knows kids lie to their parents. They do. I don't care if you're an adult or if you're a child. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Apparently, it's the only time there's been a paternity case like this prosecuted. She's not necessarily, well, yeah, because people don't normally do this kind of shit. So, if somebody got caught doing all this, because this is a huge elaborate scam that spans over 10 years, yeah, they're gonna prosecute. This case in itself is one of a kind. I mean, Laura is unique here for sure. And then they attach the indictment, um, that she was charged with on May 25th. Picture of Ron and Jan. Eckerd claims Laura's mother is the driving force behind her daughter's legal troubles, while Black insists the pregnancy was real and says Laura has been tormented by an online mob. No, because she doesn't have to watch anything. You don't have to watch anything, Jan. Neither does Ron. Y'all choose to go and look at this stuff. Don't look at things people are saying about you. You should be focusing on having evidence to prove your case in court, which y'all still have not come up with any. Laura, she said, begged the court to seal the record. Yeah, except for it's the right. There's a right to the public. You don't get to just hide your crimes because people are going to be mean to you. When you do crimes, people have the right to say how they feel about somebody like that running around, because the world is not safe from her, or men are not safe from her. And people deserve to know what kind of person they're dealing with. She wanted this to be private, yeah, because she thought she could do this in secret like she had done before. And if she wanted it to be private, she wouldn't have gone to the Sun when this all started with Clayton. The prosecutor seems to be saying she wanted notoriety. She begged not to have notoriety after nobody took her side, because she would want the notoriety if everybody was on her side. She would have loved it. The toll on Owen's family has been devastating, Black said. Black said the SWAT team raided their home in January looking for prosthetic baby bumps and pregnancy hormones. Did they find them? Or did y'all get rid of that prosthetic baby bump a long time ago? But did y'all order it off of Amazon? Or is it on credit card purchases? And they can prove it. So even if you, which, let me tell you, if you bought a baby bump and then you got rid of it before the raid, you're tampering with evidence, Jan and Laura. You're hiding stuff. Yes, perjury is frequently committed, but so rarely charged. That is true, because the thing is a lot of people can get up there and lie, whether they accidentally did it or whatever the case is. Because, and the thing is with perjury is you have to prove that they knowingly lied. that they knew that what they were doing was a lie. And I think if Laura had just lied on the stand, but she didn't do anything else, they would not be charging this. And it wouldn't surprise me if in the end, perjury possibly got dropped. But but they can prove perjury on her. And the perjury to me is not, "I got pregnant by the fucking bachelor." It is, she went to Los Angeles and got a sonogram, and then she didn't provide it. And she told the judge she provided everything with her HIPAA release. So, those to me are the more perjurious statements, but, okay. AJ. I think her sister is a possible accomplice. One of the changes relates to her sister's video. If her sister gave it to her with her permission to use it as to deceive Clayton, then that's an accomplice. That is true if that is the way it happened. I'm thinking that Laura charges, not changes. One of the charges relates to her sister's video. Yes. But I'm thinking the one with Ron touching her belly, that one, I think Laura was possibly taking that video. That's why she has that one. The sonogram ones, I think were sent things were sent to her just to share, like, "Hey, look," um, all that. But I think Laura's the one who actually took the sister's belly being touched by Ron. I could be wrong. But I mean, it could have happened that way, like, her sister could be in on this, but since we really haven't heard from the sister, she's trying to stay out of this. Maybe she's staying out of it because she's, um yeah, it's her sister may not have any idea that she used it for that until later when all this became public, or she's smart and staying out of it so she doesn't look suspicious. But they'll have the text messages and stuff like that where if her sister sent it to her for that reason, um, they will have that. Even if Laura deleted things like that off of her phone, they should end up still being able to get it. Okay. Mm-mm. 12 to 15 guys, guns drawn. That's a lie. So, Jan, you're repeating Laura's lies. Their guns were not drawn on you. They had guns on them, not drawn. This is why nobody believes you, because you lie if they quoted you correctly on this. You send a SWAT team for that? No, you send SWAT teams for search warrants. Laura now just weighs 84 pounds, and that's a problem. Get her help for that instead of having her continue on this. Y'all can end this. It's and 5'4". That's not healthy. She needs to go see a nutritionist. And I don't think she actually needs to. I think she's doing this stuff on purpose to say, look what everybody's done to me. Because if she does go to prison, I'm pretty sure she's going to put back that weight. She's going to put on that weight. Or she's going to try to pull they don't feed me in jail. Like, I don't put anything past her. Um, but she needs to eat. And I get that she has some gluten issues. Or maybe she's now just not eating gluten and this is what it's done to her. But um I don't necessarily doubt that she has gastric problems. I don't think she has gastric bleeding, but gastric problems, yeah, especially with you if you have a gluten allergy or something like that. But you're 84 pounds to have sympathy and to try to be like, "See, I'm skinny, skinny when I'm not pregnant." It's like, "Yeah, but when you weren't pregnant before Clayton, you weren't this skinny." "It's horrific what it's done to her," she said. She's been on and off on unaliving ideations, basically. Laura Owens, however, sounded cheerful and cognate when Daily Mail reached out to her by phone in Arizona. Um, and why is she not in a facility and getting mental health treatment, Jan? Like, she should be seeking therapy, not seeking internet comments. Let's see. I'm sure. I want to go back and read these comments. Okay. Let me scroll up. Tells all this time. Fake pregnancy to keep her man. Yeah, I agree. 99 problems, but crime ain't one, Jen. Um, I do agree. She has s- she's got some mental illnesses, whether it's abandonment or whatever, and she needs help. And there's nothing wrong with having some form of mental illness. A lot of people do. Yeah, I think she's definitely impersonated people. I hope that comes out in the trial. I don't think Jan is ever turning on Laura unless it's to save her own butt, but Jan should take a plea deal if she does. Um, yeah, but Laura's health is her own doing. It's not anybody else's doing. It's her own doing. It's scary, and we don't want that for her. We want her to be healthy. Y- Facts, Bruce. Facts. They called her after 7 a.m. because she's apparently not cheerful and cognate before 7 a.m. Like, and the thing is they didn't even wake her, you know? So it's not like she just woke up and is like just agitated. Like when you when some people wake up, they're just pissed off if somebody wakes them up. Laura was not that. Laura was up giving her dogs water at the time. Yeah, the enabling is horrible. Yeah, she will lie. And she knew there was body cam footage when she said that. Well, the first time she said it, I don't think she knew there was body cam footage. By the time she was in the house saying crap, like, "Oh, I don't even know what a gun looks like," or whatever that is. Ma'am, stop gaslighting people. Like, nobody's as stupid as you seem to think everybody is. The stress of the case has sent Laura's weight spiraling down to just 84 pounds, according to her mother. Yeah, well, she should be eating snacks while scrolling on the internet if that's what she chooses to do. Here's this. This is the Greg Gillespie one. On the website, victims of Laura Owens. Ooh, shout out! Victims of Laura Owens. Volo. Numerous documents and photos between Gillespie and Laura alleged a disturbing pattern, including a text thread where she allegedly sent him ultrasounds claiming to be pregnant with twins. Yep. I can't tell you how much I wish I could make a statement to you, she said. I would be happy to once the criminal side of things is over. Oh, yeah, I'm sure we'll get a big Medium blog, hopefully from prison. No. Oh my gosh, Calamity. That's horrible. Yeah. And if you've gone through it, Laura is not, it just is not something. She has no idea what being pregnant or having a miscarriage is, in my opinion. Um, right now, I feel like she ended up getting pregnant for real because of her weight. I do believe she would end up having a miscarriage, which is horrible if she actually got pregnant with somebody. And if she is dating somebody, I hope they're supporting her and trying to get her some help, or at least trying to get her to eat and telling her to ignore these people. I have lots to say, but I would get in trouble. I can say I am innocent, but nothing more for now. It's best if you go through my mother. Well, I'm glad they didn't say it's best if they go through Gingras, because, or she could have said, you can speak to my attorney, but her attorney is not going to say what she wants her mom to say. And I wonder if they contacted the Daily Mail to get this story. Well, to get their story out because they're speaking out. All right. Um, Black hits back, claims both online and by Eckerd that she is pulling the strings behind the scene. If supporting my daughter makes me a puppet master, then fine, she said. We've really tried to help her through this. No, you haven't, because you would put a stop to this if you were truly helping her. You're enabling her. But if I'm supporting my daughter, ma'am, committing crimes with your daughter is not supporting, allegedly, in my opinion. Don't come for me. She said the ordeal has bankrupted the family. But whose decision is that? That is y'all's decision. Because y'all didn't have to do any of this shit. Who moved to Scottsdale from San Francisco several years after Ron Owens, who suffers from health issues, including Parkinson's, retired. Owens, who turns 80 next week, does have a GoFundMe page that has raised more than $130,000. However, it says the family's financial woes are down to his health problems, that we have included 4 bouts with cancer, and makes no mention of his daughter's legal battles. Exactly. That's, to me, that's an admission that this is not fully about Ron's health, because they would have more than enough money to deal with Ron's health if they didn't run these legal scams. But I also think he possibly has Medicaid or Medicare, and they take care of things. Owen's case has amplified online because she previously sought a protective orders against at least 2 other men. She accused Gillespie of abortion coercion in Arizona and got a restraining order against him. Michael Maricini in California. Both men deny her allegations. Gillespie and Maricini are reportedly on the witness list for January trial. It's their GoFundMe. Am in the morning mounting legal drama and multiple civil and criminal lawsuits. Laura's mother told the Daily Mail the family is bankrupt while her father, Ron, is battling Parkinson's and has a GoFundMe page that has raised over 130,000. Okay. I mean, that's a nice family photo right there with the horses. That y'all should be concentrating on this stuff. Black told the Daily Mail that both she and Ron support Laura's version of things. Ma'am, okay. Um, Jan, we don't support versions of things. Like, you don't go to court and say, "This is my version of the story." No, this is the truth. We talk about truth, not somebody's version of a story. Because if you have a version of a story, it's not the truth. It's just a story. Version of the story. That's because you're, like, choosing if you are choosing that, then you're doing it blindly, and I I can't even think of what the word is for it. Um, oh my gosh. Like, you're playing ignorance is bliss, and y you're just choosing to stay on her side because she's your daughter, but you're not actually, because you don't want your daughter to get in trouble. That's why you're supporting her version of things, is because you don't want her to get in trouble, which no mom wants their kid to be in trouble, but you have to hold your kids accountable, even when they're adults. I have an adult son. If I think he's, like, not doing something right because I'm still his mother, even though he's grown, I mean, he could tell me to go somewhere if he doesn't agree with it, but I will be like, maybe not do that," or, "Why don't you try this?" But if he's wrong or he's doing something, I'm gonna tell him because I want him to be the best version of himself. I ag I agree, Amy, that they are telling on themselves by saying that. Yeah, the versions of things that if that is the exact quote for real, that's a little sus to me, Jan. When their relationship fell apart, Maricini claimed on a website that Laura faked a twin pregnancy, another singular pregnancy, multiple miscarriages, and several abortions involving him. Yeah, I think there's a lot about Maricini that we don't actually know about. I think we know the basics, but I think there is so much more with Maricini that none of us would be ready for. Um, the website, Victims of Laura Owens, outlines Owens' alleged pattern of filing false paternity claims, coercing men into relationships, and filing false orders of protection. It just also talks about Uber. It talks about Lone Star Construction or Cactus or whatever it is. Um, it just talks about. I don't. I don't know that they have the bankruptcy things on there. But it covers a whole slew of things because she doesn't just do things like pregnancy related. She looks for a chance to get money from people at any rate. She has a lot of schemes that she runs, not just pregnancies. A 2-day trial is scheduled for October 21st and 22nd in San Francisco involving Maricini, who met Owens on a dating app in 2016 and dated her on and off for a year, which Laura has asked for a continuance on that. He declined to speak to the Daily Mail, citing the ongoing litigation. Very good. Omar taught him well. But on the website, which is run in concert with the Eckert and Gillespie, it's alleged that Owens also faked a twin pregnancy, another singular pregnancy, multiple miscarriages, and several abortions. What? Okay. With him. All right. It's alleged that Owens. Okay, maybe they're talking about the other guy. This month's hearing centers on Owens' attempt to renew an existing domestic violence restraining order against him and Maricini's effort to have it end permanently. No, he wants the whole thing vacated, not just ended. I mean, he would like that too, at the very least, but Owens' numerous critics online say at least 3 legal disputes in a decade involving romantic partners suggest a suspicious and toxic pattern. Yeah, and everybody with eyes and ears says that, except for Jan, Owen, Laura, and Ron, and Gingras. But Black rejects that outright. She was unapologetically raw in discussing her daughter's sex life. Ew, gross. Ew. No. My kids try to talk to me about something like that. I'm like, la 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 la. No. Mm-mm. Do not need to know. Mm-mm. Nope. Don't want to hear it. I mean, if you have some kind of health question or something like that, we will deal with that, but do not give me details of things. Nobody wants to hear it. It's gross. Yeah. Who says raw? Blech. They have a lot of word phrasing problems. A sex life and how she believes Laura has been serially victimized by her lovers, beginning with Maricini, except for they didn't begin with Maricini. There were people before Mike. That's how you know she's lying. Is she's just talking about the ones that are in the media for the most part. She forgets to mention that Laura was doing this before. And you cannot tell me. Yeah, the serial part is her, not them. Exactly, Georgia. Yeah, and when something like this happens, you have to look at the common denominator. They post the domestic violence restraining order. This month's hearing is centers around Owen's attempt to renew an existing domestic violence restraining order against Maricini. And I'm going to add the context where she lies and her attorney, David Gingras, is just trying to cause chaos. She said her husband, Ron, totally supports Laura's version of things as well. I don't think y'all are giving Ron the real version of the story. Like, it is. Ron supports the story too, or Laura's version of things. Yeah, but I don't know if Ron knows all the ins and outs. Leave Ron alone. Let him sleep in the nude in his bed. I mean, keep the door closed, but leave Ron alone. Let him live out the rest of his years in bliss. Let him enjoy his life. This is not enjoying his life. Y'all could be making so many memories with him right now and soaking up the time, Laura, with your dad. Because as somebody who has lost their dad, it is time you'll never get back. And it is something you don't get over. Everything in life reminds you of them. If you ever do have a kid, it's going to be heartbreaking. So I have a grandson right now, and it breaks my heart that my dad didn't get to meet him. And it's it's sad and great when my grandson does things that I'm like, "Oh my god, that is my dad in him." He doesn't ever get to know he doesn't get to know his papa, but he has papa's characteristics in him. And instead, you're wasting your time and your money on this bullshit. Enjoy your father while you have him. As for Eckerd, Black said the former University of Missouri football star initiated their first meeting. Although text on LinkedIn seen by Daily Mail indicate that Owens initially contacted Eckerd. He texted her one night and said, "Hey, would you mind coming over to cuddle? I'm lonely." And she said, "Yeah, but you need to understand, this is not a booty call." She texted him that. She said, "I'm not coming over to have sex with you." Okay. Well, she apparently changed her mind by the time she got over there in her version of things. Mm, 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 mm. Despite this, Black alleges that Eckerd pressured her daughter when she got to his house. He admitted they were grinding naked all night long and that he ejaculated twice, she claimed. Who talks like this? What old lady talks like this? Mm, but I guess they're sexually awakened people, because they had a podcast. They just talk about that. Like, nobody says that. Nobody's like, "Oh, yeah, he ejaculated twice." No, no, not even a guy who's gonna be like, "Yo, homies, I ejaculated all over her." Like, nobody says that. Oh my god. This woman, like, this family just needs to be studied. But he wants to make it seem like she just had oral sex with him and she made this up. Ma'am, she has in an email that he doesn't know how tight her vagina is, which we know why Laura talks that way because apparently her mom talks that way. And she has no proof. She has no proof, Jan. Why are you believing somebody without receipts? And then the person that has the receipts, you're like, yeah, I'm not going to believe any of that. You know what I don't hear her claiming? That she was there when she got a sonogram. Because we know her mom was with her from what I think has been said. I could be wrong, but I think her mom was with her. What, did Jan just wait out in the car? Because Jan is not saying, I know she was because I went to a sonogram. Because that would be a lie, Jan. So how are you believing her version of things when you know she did not go get that sonogram from any of those places? Black said her daughter's decision to try to make it work with Clayton when he wasn't interested is a pattern you see with a lot of women who are abused. Don't give me that shit. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Mm-mm. Nope. They don't want to believe it. And once he became this way, she got frightened. She tried to pull out slowly. There are a lot of guys who on the surface look like great, and then you find out they have another side. They spent one night together. One night. She didn't pull out of anything slowly. Right. Yeah. People that are abused do not submit dating contracts to people. They do not attach themselves to guys. Usually, women that are abused are slow to trust, not clings on to everything. She is completely the opposite of most of women that are abused. And I think that's because she wasn't. I don't know what happened to her at what point in her life, but good to know, Angela. I am glad you are safe from fetal attraction. It's a horrible condition to have, fetal attraction. I do not want that. They don't want to believe it. And once he became this way, she got frightened. She tried to slowly no, 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 no. Eckerd's version of this hookup with Owens began casually with no warning signs. He said Owens first reached out to him on LinkedIn, May 2023, asking to contact a brokerage he was a part of. Yeah, why didn't she just call the brokerage? Because she targeted him. She could have just called the company that he worked for. TV's former bachelor, Clayton Eckerd, said his relationship with Owens started with a LinkedIn job inquiry, which led to her sending provocative photos and eventually meeting in person and spending the night together. Yeah, who started this? Him or her? I don't know. And even if Clayton started it, it still doesn't give her the right to do this. I basically said, sure. And we exchanged cell phone numbers, Eckerd said. She started texting me to say she wanted to see Holmes, and then she started to be flirtatious. She sent me provocative photos, and the mood shifted. I said, you should come over. I would like to see the beginning of those text messages, but we haven't even seen that. See, there's so much stuff we have not seen. She was completely normal, which is sad because she could have had a totally normal life, he told the Daily Mail. Exactly. Oh, I guess this is a picture of Ron when he was younger. Um, the trouble began, he said, when he told her she wasn't interested in pursuing a relationship after their night together. Yeah, one night of foreplay, and she's gone batshit crazy. There are so many wrong phrases in this thing. It's insane. Okay. Oh, I didn't ever finish this tweet. Um, okay. I was under the influence of marijuana that night, he said. Clayton, I don't think this is a statement that should have been said. Um, but I will say, um, it can make you flirty and horny, I guess. Um, that is something that can happen when people smoke marijuana. They can become giggly, they can become flirty. Some of them can just become sleepy, lazy, and hungry. If I'd been sober, I wouldn't have asked her to come over. I don't think you can blame the marijuana on this, but I mean, if you were feeling things. When I woke up the next day, I felt it was a mistake. She started talking as if we were going down a serious path. I just didn't, I wanted to be blunt and not lead her on. And see, Clayton gets in trouble because sometimes he thinks with the wrong head himself. And so then he does things and then he regrets it because he's a male who has urges. He needs to learn to control them a little bit better. Um, that sadly has been shown all over TV. Uh, I don't think Clayton is in a place where he should be dating anybody right now. Um, he, I mean, he has been working on himself, which is great, and that's what you want for a person. Um, and he's a human, so he makes mistakes too, but he's not out here committing crimes. What happened next, Deckard says, was very eerie. Yeah, it is straight out of a nightmare. This is scarier than most scary movies. When he gently told Owens he didn't want to date her, he said a switch flipped. It wasn't her there anymore. Um, yeah, she probably had like crazy eyes and stuff. And you're like, oh shit. This is not a girl I can be honest with. Eckerd said she began sending him 5 or 6 angry emails per day, sent process servers to his workplace, and filed to have his Arizona Department of Real Estate license pulled. Yeah. And not that she doesn't have the right to be mad, you know? Nobody's saying she didn't have the right to be pissed off that he did this to her, because he shouldn't have even done anything if he wasn't interested in her, you know? But so, she has the right to be mad. You can say hurtful things to him, but it should have stopped at that. The crazy part of her is everything else she did after that initial angry phase. She became vindictive and wanted revenge and plotted a scheme. Nobody's saying she didn't have the right to be pissed off. That what Clayton did was douchey here. But you don't go destroy somebody's life over this. Eggert claims that when he didn't want to pursue a relationship with Laura, she flipped a switch and she's sending him positive pregnancy tests. Yes. We know why those tests were positive, I believe. Here's an email where she made this Instagram thing. Like, she was a very busy bee. Eckerd claimed Owens began sending him 5 or 6 angry emails per day. This one that shows the pregnancy announcement photo that she planned to post if he didn't unblock her. See, this is vindictive and revengeful. This is doing things out of spite. She threatens him constantly. At one point, he asked her to come to his apartment to take a pregnancy test that turned out to be positive, and it rattled him. Yeah. Until he decided she was taking HCG, a pregnancy hormone sometimes used in equine care to fake test results. And I don't know. I think we possibly know now that it wasn't horse HCG. I think originally a lot of us thought that because that could have been a possibility. But I think with the HCG stuff that has come out, it's actually just regular HCG. Prosecutors have not confirmed this accusation. Right. They're not going to say anything until trial. Eckert said that initially, before he knew if Owens was truly pregnant, I thought she had trapped me and felt a harrowing fear. Today, despite the looming trial, Eckert is moving on with his life and focusing on his real estate career and his new hobby, dancing, which he showcases on his Instagram account, as he should. I totally compartmentalize the experience, he says. I feel it happened to stumble across one of the most crazy individuals I've ever met. The chances of me stumbling across another one, I'm not going to carry baggage from something previous. I think that's what he wants. I don't know if he can fully do that yet, sadly. Attorney Joshua Colsred, whose office represents Owens, told the Daily Mail they could not comment, citing ongoing litigation. I wonder if he knew that her family were going to do this. Then it says Arizona, and so that is the article. All right, let's remove that. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So that is the article from the Daily Mail UK that they put out. I will I will be putting up a video with the rest of yesterday's documents that came out, including the request for a continuance, and then what Woodnick filed in the Owens v. Eckerd case. We'll be putting out a video on that, so stay tuned for that. I will also be having the Supreme Court ruling that lifted the gag order in the Aaron Spencer case, which is a crazy case in itself. And I would love y'all's thoughts on that, because this dad ended up killing his daughter's PDF file um, while in the process of kidnapping her when he is out on bail. And they are now charging the dad with murder. So it's a very important case. I think y'all would like it because we do have court filings. So if you like the reading of the court filings, we do that on that. And it's another one where the town wanted to keep what they were doing, the county, keep what they were doing hush hush. Don't let people know that we're doing things over here. And when courts try to do things in secret, that needs to be broadened, because there's no reason for that. You're doing shady shit if you're trying to keep things hidden in a court of law. That's my opinion. But I think some of you would like that case. If y'all have other things that you want me to follow, also let me know on that, because I want to cover things that y'all are interested in as well. But that's going to be it today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.